In today's video, I'm gonna show how to change the intake manifold seal without removing the intake manifold completely. So we have to start with taking the negative terminal of the battery. For that, you have to use a 10mm socket. For most of the engine bay electrical side, if you are disconnecting, you need to remove the battery. Now the Wickham lines. Now this is a DME part. DME is on top of the intake manifold, so you have to take all the connections out. So press in here. We will start from this connector, and once we slide it, you can take it out. Similarly, the 3 connections. After that, there won't be any space for these two. So the last one has to be taken out. This one has to be taken out first. For that, you have to pull the clip in here. You can see the clip in here from both sides, and the connector will slide up and it will get unlocked. So you have to take it in this way. It's a sliding lock. Next one is a push lock from both sides. One of the locks is already out in mine. This was a used car, so it was not there. So just remove it that way. And this one also push lock from both sides. Take it out. Now it's time to take the DME itself out. You need to use a T25 Torx bit to remove. On 4 corners there will be the Torx screws. So just remove it carefully. There is a chance of falling down, so be careful with that. Mine has only 3 screws in there, so just take it out and keep it safe. Now we need to take this one out so that we have enough space to work on, and remove the cover which holds the cables and DME. For that T25 Torx bit itself, only 1 screw and the other 2 is push clips. On the cover itself, there will be 2 connectors which will be attached. So for each connector, there will be 3 locks, which is a plastic hook type locks. It's better to have small flathead screwdriver. So 1 in here, and the other 2 in the other sides. Yeah, from here there'll be 1. Just push it out, and the other side there will be 2 clips nearby, and just push it inwards. The first one is outwards, and just slide it down. I'm just showing it again. I was not able to focus it because there was no space for camera and me to work on together. So if you look at it, you can see the clips. The second one also has the same type of locks, so just remove it in the same way. This is the only tricky part in this connector removal. Now we have all the connectors removed. By the way, you can also remove the clip, the connector that we just removed. We can just make it into two separate connectors. I did not show in this video, but I have done it so that I have enough space to move around. So keep all the connectors, all the cables away from this particular cover so that we can take the cover out, pull it in both sides, and it will be free, and now you can take it out. As I told you, I did not remove the intake manifold completely. There is a wire running in here. You have to remove the holding clip. For that, just slide the flathead in between and it will get unlocked. There is a small gap and just push in there. So that's it. Now you can remove the cover. See the push locks, and these are the two push locks, and this is the Torx screw. Now it's time to release the turbo intake hose from the intercooler. I'm just loosening it. I'm not taking the whole hose out because we just need to slide it a bit so that we can change the seals. As I told you, I did not remove the intake manifold completely. My plan is just to change the seals to have zero, leaks from the intake. So for this, we are taking the intake bolts out, 13 millimeter. We have 5 nuts in there. Carefully remove all 5. The last one is the only tricky one. The others are easy to get. The last one, you have to use your fingers to find out where it is located, and also you just slide in by feeling where the nut is and seat our 13 millimeter box in there so that it doesn't slip. You can see where I have inserted the tool. You can just feel it from there, and once it's in position, just take it out. For taking the thermostat out, also you need to remove the intake manifold, as well as starting motor removal. You have to take the intake manifold out. So carefully remove the nut. Always place your finger at the tip so that the nut doesn't fall out from the tool, as I'm doing in this video. Just keep your fingers at the tip. Now we have removed all the nuts out from the intake manifold. You can just pull the intake manifold out, slide it, and now you will have enough space to remove the seals. So this is the seal from BMW itself. I did not go for aftermarket one because the aftermarket available was a bit hard, soft one. So I have used a flathead screwdriver itself to remove the old gaskets out. The old gasket was soft, but it got really pressed in, so the compression was not enough. That is what I felt. That's the reason I have decided to replace the gaskets. So previously, whoever did the work has used what do you call it, the gasket seals on it, and that's the reason you are seeing grayish glue over there. Once you remove it, clean the surface. I've used a blade to clean it. It has not been shown. And once you clean it, we'll start installing the new gaskets from BMW itself. As I told you, the aftermarket one was cheap, but the quality was really very less. It was entirely different. That's the reason I used the OEM itself. So you just slide it in and press it completely so that it fits properly into the slots. Though the same, it's having really nice rubbery effect. It's easily placeable, so it won't be an issue for you guys. I've chosen to put the last one first because you'll not hit your hand over and it won't come out in this way. So that's the reason I selected the last one before putting the second last. So we are ready to go. And before that, I'll show you, if you want to take the intake manifold completely out, there is a holding a nut on this particular piece. So you have to use a 10 millimeter socket and go in this way and take the 10 millimeter bolt out. Then only you can take the whole intake manifold out. So just for your reference. So I'm gonna put the intake manifold back. Carefully place it to the position. Be careful, don't hit the gaskets with the bolts, and be careful that the bolts are positioned to a metal ring. You should be careful so that the metal ring doesn't come out. So once you place it into the position, make sure there is no wires getting jammed in between. Once you confirm that, you can go ahead and put all the nuts back. For the nuts that might fall down, or if you don't have enough space for your finger to go in to fit in there properly, you use a tissue or a paper to tighten the nut to our 13 millimeter box, just like this. And once you place it to the position and tighten it, don't forget to remove the tissue out, because next time it might get a problem for getting out the nuts. So take the tissue out once you place it. So install all the 5 nuts back. The last one was a bit tricky, so I had to use a 1x4 ratchet itself, because the space congestion was making it difficult to place the nut into its proper aligned position. Once it's in the position, you can use the half-inch ratchet itself. Be careful with tightening. Tighten it properly, but don't over tighten, because in N13 engine, most of the bolts and nuts get broken. The engine design is in such a way that it doesn't hold that much torque value. So I've seen many people breaking the bolts and nuts all over the engine. So I'm also scared to do that. That's why I'm not tightening it too much. Even I'm not ready to go for the torque value. The what do you call tightening torque value. I cannot trust that. It's because it's not new bolts or new parts. So once you do that, don't forget to tighten the intake hose from the intercooler. Use a flathead itself to tighten it, because if you use a socket, you might over tighten and break the the clip. So now it's time to put back the cover which holds the DME. So carefully insert it in and push it back to its lock. Make sure all your cables are out and you connect the cables back in the proper way, which you have removed. By pressing this clip, it will get into the position by locking the wire. You will find it a little bit difficult to get all the wires into position because the length of the wire is also a problem. So you have to route it carefully when you put it back. this is the connector that I was talking about with the 3 locks. So I had disconnected this one to have more space. Whenever you disconnect it, you have to put it back in the right thing back, and it's not a big deal. There are 2 push clips on both ends. You just push it and take it out, and similarly you just push it in to get into the locks properly. So making sure all the cables are there and it's routed in the right way. Once you make sure, tighten the T25 Tox screw. Now it's time to place the DME. Before doing that, we can actually connect the place the 2 connectors that we had removed. So routing all the cables properly. Now this one, you just slide it up from its position. So just keep it in position and slide it up as I'm showing in this video. The last one first, keep it in aligned position and slide it up. It will get into its lock, just like this. See, so easy, but getting out is the only tricky part. Now it's time to put the DMU back. As I told you, I'm missing one screw. So I'll be just putting back 3 screws in, which is T25. Now, first in, first out. So this is the way that you place the connector. Whenever you put it, just slide it back so that it gets to its locking position. Make sure the connector fits in there properly, doesn't get out. I'm gonna connect in this manner. Slide it. Whenever the locks get into the position, you can feel that the connector is going in and locking to its connector properly. And make sure it doesn't come out after placing each connector in. Slide it in and that's it. There's just push clips, so you just push the connector. Make sure you are not pulling it too much to avoid any disconnection from the other side. So we have done all the connections on the DME. Once you make sure all the connections are properly connected, you can put the battery terminal, negative terminal back. So all the connectors are ready. Now we just gonna place I don't know what this is called, the shield back, and put the wires in its proper routing position. This clip was also a confusing one. And now we're gonna put the engine cover back with the two wacom lines. I need to sort out what this wacom lines does. I actually don't know what this wacom line does. So I'll be sorting out it soon. So hopefully this helps someone. I hope you guys have learned something as I did. Enjoy.